Hey guys, welcome back to the 208 Breakdown. Brantley McFetridge, your host and podcaster as well. Today we're going to be doing a little something different where we're going to be ranking a specific movie series that, if you've obviously read the title, you know what it is already. And we're not going to be grading them. We're not going to be grading these movies. We're just going to be ranking in my specific opinion, from worst to best, from the movies I've seen in this franchise. So there's 21 movies to be ranked today, and like I said, if you know the title, you know what we're doing. We're going to be ranking all of the Avengers movies. I've tried to stay in the main timeline as much as possible. I know there is multiverse stuff where there's different verses of movies. So, for example, we're not going to be rating Shang-Chi today. We're not going to be rating She-Hulk or all that other stuff that's gone on after Endgame and all that. No Fantastic Four, nothing real, none of the new people that's going to be in Avengers Doomsday at the end of the year. If you know what I'm saying, it's going to be main stuff. So it's Spider-Man, Captain America, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, main Avengers movies. And there are some movies that I haven't seen. So I hate to admit it, but I have never seen any of the Iron Man movies. So that will not be in the list today. But at some point in life, I would get up to watching them. So, nothing better to do today. We got some wildfire issues here in western Idaho. Air quality's terrible. Can't go outside. So we're doing this, and let's do it. I'm excited for ranking these movies. All right, let's get right into it. So, again, there's 21 movies that are going to be ranked. Try to stay as main timeline as the Avengers as possible. And I'll give you some additional information as much as I can about the movie that's not in the level of actually grading the movie. At some point in life, I will grade these movies. Maybe another different series for the channel. And before we get started, again, it's really important to me. I really appreciate everyone that has seen my YouTube shorts and these videos. Please like and subscribe. I went into my analytic based stuff for the channel, and only about 5% of people that have seen the shorts and the videos have actually subscribed. So please sure to be subscribed. I know this could be a really big thing, and yeah, let's get right into it. So let's start with number 21. So again, this is my own opinion. If anybody gets butthurt or mad about anything, be sure to comment. Nothing hateful. This is my own opinion. You guys have all your own opinions, all that fun stuff. So this is my opinion. I like to share this content with you guys. So let's get right into it. So, movie 21 is the Black Panther. Now, the reason the Black Panther is number 21 is because I really don't remember the film. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I remember it being really good. All of these movies I'm ranking are great movies. They're just, I have to put them into a ranking style. I don't remember the Black Panther well. I remember it being a really good standardized action film. It just is not as doesn't have that much bite to an audience as the other movies that we'll be talking about today. My opinion as an audience member. Yeah, and really the only reason why it's at this level, I probably should go and watch it, obviously. I just don't remember it as much as the other movies in this series. The movie stars Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, mainly about Black Panther, the king of Wakanda, and all that cool stuff. And yeah, so Black Panther number 21. Number 20 in the Avengers, in my rankings for the Avengers, number 20 is going to be Thor, the original Thor. Now, the reason this is at 20 is because, again, I don't remember it that well, but I do remember that it doesn't have that much bite as a couple other movies in this franchise, and it's just we had to evolve and get like so original movies are interesting because they bring in this new character. Thor being in this circumstance, and we gotta get used to him. And obviously we've got used to him. He's one of my favorite Avengers of all time. But this is the first movie. It's been a while. Probably should go ahead and watch it again just to see. But this is number 20 on my list, the original Thor. 19 is going to be Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. So the second Doctor Strange that they made specifically for him in his movie series. 2 movies for him so far. This one, I do remember watching. This one was a really good movie. Really, really good. I really liked the visual effects. The movie was a insane watch. Really cool stuff happening in the movie. Again, the multiverse and all that is. So if you don't know who Doctor Strange is, if you're watching the movie, you're watching this video, you probably do. But Doctor Strange was this surgeon, big old surgeon, rich, I think he drove a Lamborghini or something in the original movie. He was in an accident because he was dumb and was speeding. What accident destroyed his hands, okay? He was in the hospital for ever so long. Wants to get his hands back working, you know. So he goes to Asia and he learns all this witchcraft stuff, this powerful magic. It's not witchcraft, but magic stuff, and that's how he evolved. He's basically a wizard. One of my favorite Avengers as well. He can alter reality into the multiverse. It's a really cool deal. This movie is all about that, and that is number 19 for that. All right, number 18 is going to be The Avengers Age of Ultron. One of the first Avengers movies I've ever watched. The bad guy is insane. Really cool. Really cool watch. Visual effects, CGI, all that cool stuff right there. Second movie in the official Avengers deal when they're fully a group, like a unit, so to speak. And really awesome watch. It's been a while. Just, again, as we go through these movies, more and more bite to the audience. More and more impact to the audience. All these movies are great. None of them suck. None of them are bad. They're all really good. It's by level of how much the audience is in it, if you know what I mean. So all these are great movies. And this one was especially. Dude. Number 17. Let's go with... Number 17 for me is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. The original Guardians of the Galaxy. So this movie was really cool in the aspect of introducing kind of a new type of superhero. These guys are the type that they're not Avengers. You have no idea they're going to become Avengers until the years go by, and then we get to the point where we're at where Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy mash up together. They end up in the same kind of timeline sort of deal. Not timeline. They happen at the same time. But they end up in the same movies together. Just to say that. And after Endgame, they kind of become a thing where the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor are kind of their own deal now for movies. Love it. Really cool. Really funny. A comedic concept sort of deal right there. And the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie was awesome because they brought a new type of superhero unit that was a little bit different from the others, in my opinion. Introduce you to space. I believe since at that point in time we weren't introduced to Captain Marvel, space was kind of a new thing in this concept of Marvel Studios. For us, I mean, we knew of it, but in a movie concept, Marvel Studios, when the Avengers is happening, this movie was a really cool deal to introduce these type of people that we had no idea were going to become Avengers until the point of Infinity War and Endgame. And it's just a really cool deal that they did for that movie. So number 17 is the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 16 is going to be... Number 16 is going to be the original Avengers movie, where they all link up, had a couple of physical destruction scenes where Hulk goes all crazy, has, before he could actually handle himself, Dr. Banner going all crazy, destroying buildings and stuff. And that is the premiere of the movie throughout, and then they start to build, and they become a unit designed by Nick Fury, who will find out a little more of his backstory when we get into the movie Captain Marvel. And just an awesome film to be introduced to what would become a really amazing franchise, because the franchise was already there for years. For about 10 years time, build a foundation, they grow it and grow it and grow it, and then boom, the Avengers. And then after that, you get movies like Infinity War and Endgame, where you're making more than $1 billion in the box office. It's absolutely insane. And starts right there, the original Avengers, number 16 on my list. And now number 15, we're going to go into the OG, Captain America, but it's not his first movie, it's his second. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, is going to be number 15. This movie is the whole movie, nothing uninteresting, nothing like insane watch as well. And the Bucky character, his friend Bucky, gets a little more of his side of perspective, and we kind of understand him a little bit, and it's just a really great watch. It's a really good sequel to Captain America, the First Avenger. I think that in this situation, you can't do it any better, where you try to sequel this kind of movie in Captain America, the First Avenger. And in Captain America, Winter Soldier, when everything happens, he's stuck in the ice for 70 years, and now he's in Brooklyn in 2014, if I remember right. And boom, there you have the sequel is honestly the best that was possible for that situation, and it was really awesome to watch. Great movie. Number 14 is going back to the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and I love the introduction to the Mantis character. She's she's kind of there, in my opinion, she's there for kind of a comedic relief, comedic resolution sort of thing. Kind of, she's got that sort of character vibe where she's there for comedy and fun. You really don't have to have her as a character, but at the same time you do, because it brings that comedic resolution sort of deal. And just the whole timeline, just the whole storyline of this movie is really, really nicely done, with Kurt Russell in the movie and Peter Quill and his father and their deal happening in the whole movie, the twists and turns. I'm not going to spoil it, but boom, he's this, and oh shoot, now he's that. You know what I'm saying? And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, number 14. So, before we go any farther, I have not watched Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy, so that movie is out. Number 13 is going to the Spider-Man trilogy. It's about to be a 4, with Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out in about 5 days. Be sure to check that out. I'm definitely checking it out. Again, that will be a movie grading on this channel as well, so be sure to check that out. The report card will come out probably a good 15 minutes after I'm done in the theaters watching that movie. So excited for that. Number 13 on this list is going to be Spider-Man Far From Home. Okay, so Spider-Man Far From Home. This movie is insane. Really great watch. I actually watched it last night. And the character of Mysterio, the twists and turns of that movie, he's this, now he's that. Again, if you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to actually say it for spoilers, but if you're smart enough, he was this. Oh, shoot. Now he's that. We got to go fight him. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just Peter Parker, Spider-Man. He's not in New York. He's in Europe. Boom. What happens? All chaos breaks loose. A really good setting for this kind of story to sequel Spider-Man Homecoming, where we get a lot more foundation to what this character is about as an Avenger perspective. Because there's already been two Spider-Man versus. You got the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in the early 2000s, and then you have the early 2010s with Andrew Garfield and with the Amazing Spider-Man, and then you have this Tom Holland, and this Spider-Man. This was a lot more of an obvious guess that this character was eventually going to become an Avenger once we got introduced to Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War, where Iron Man recruits him, and boom, you could kind of tell him, obviously it's going to build on and on. He's going to become one of the bigger heroes in this franchise at this point in time in 2026. And this movie to sequel Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, awesome, amazing. They bring in Zendaya's character a lot more. She was in the previous one, but she was kind of like a side view sort of deal. Like, we weren't really paying attention to her, but now she's the second to main character besides Ned, the guy behind the desk sort of deal. And yeah, just a really good movie to introduce some of these new characters that would play out huge roles in Spider-Man No Way Home. That movie is going to be real high on my list. That's a spoiler there. Foreshadowing. And yeah, really awesome film there. So number 13, Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 12 is going to be, on my list, is going to be Avengers Infinity War. Okay? Avengers Infinity War. The reason some people might get a little mad with me for having this low on the list, but this movie Don't get me wrong, it was great. But this movie is a setup movie for Endgame, right? So this movie, at the end of it, you know, you're like, oh shoot, half the world is getting erased because Thanos is not cool and he's a jerk, and you know, boom, half the planet's wiped out. That's a setup movie. When a movie is a setup movie, it's a great movie, but in like human perspective as a movie viewer, you're not going to think of that movie as much as the movie you have to wait another year to be made, and that's the resolution there. The Avengers Infinity War is a setup kind of movie. Great movie, amazing movie. It's at number 12. That's pretty dang good for this level of franchise. And it's just, a setup movie is not a resolution in your brain, you know? And that's why it doesn't have as much bite as a lot of these other movies, the other 11 movies that I'll be talking about on this list. And that is why that's at number 12. Number 11 is going to be Doctor Strange, the original Doctor Strange. I love this movie, again, because it brings in the new character that we don't think he's going to be an Avenger, or at this point in time, he's not an Avenger, obviously. He's his own dude. And it's just a really well done sort of movie to introduce this kind of superhero. Like I said earlier, Doctor Strange is kind of this wizard sort of guy. He learned this ancient sort of magic in this original movie. He goes to Asia, tries to fix his hands that he messed up in a car accident at the beginning of the movie. And instead, he's basically the chosen one, according to the people in Asia that teach him this kind of ancient magic. And he starts to, you know, do that thing that Doctor Strange does, and it's just a really good build up to the point at the end of the movie where he's him. He's literally a master, you know? And great movie. About 2 hours. 2 hours of the movie is just build up. Boom, he's got it. And it was a really cool thing to see. Number 10 is going to be Captain Marvel. Okay? Captain Marvel was probably the most shocked I've ever been in this franchise when it comes to a specific superhero. Captain Marvel is an interesting movie because it has that build up that Doctor Strange does, but it's got a turn at the end of it that really makes an audience member be like, "Oh shoot, that was good." Not gonna spoil it, but huge turn in the movie, and it was at the end of the movie, which is kind of an interesting time for that. Usually it's at the middle of the movie, and then characters start to change their attitude, and then boom, there's another build up from there. But this is build up, boom, and then like it's a really cool concept, and that's why I really enjoyed this movie very much. And yeah, Captain Marvel, number 10 on the list. Now number 9 is going to be, let's see. Okay, not gonna lie, I messed up on this movie. So there's actually 22 movies. So 22 is gonna be Black Panther. 21 is gonna be Thor. 20 is gonna be Captain America: Multiverse of Madness. 19 will be Age of Ultron. 18 will be Guardians of the Galaxy. 17 will be 17. Shoot. 17 is going to be the original Avengers. 16 is going to be Captain America Winter Soldier. 15 is dude, I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, Volume 2, Guardians of the Galaxy. 14 is Spider-Man Far From Home. 13 is going to be Avengers Infinity War. 12 is Doctor Strange. 11 is Captain Marvel. I apologize. There we go. There you have it. Boom, boom, boom. All right, number 10. Again, sorry, I apologize for that. Messed up a little bit. Number 10, it's going to be Captain America Civil War. This movie was really, really cool, but slightly annoying because fans start to take sides if you're on Team Captain America or Team Iron Man in this sort of deal. So this is the basic rundown of this. So in the movie, Iron Man is all about, so the government is against the Avengers for some, I don't know the specific reason, but Iron Man wants the Avengers to not be a thing anymore. He wants to side with the government. And then on the other hand, Captain America wants to fight with the government, not literally fight, but keep the Avengers alive. And then it becomes a whole brawl. You get introduced to Spider-Man. Boom. There you go. Team Iron Man. And they brawl until pretty much the whole movie. And at some point, they actually start to physically fight each other, which is kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. You got all these characters we've been introduced for 10 plus years, and then out of nowhere, they're just... And then after that, they're like, well, after that, most of them went to jail. And then after they went to jail, then you start to get the foundation towards Infinity War and Endgame. So there's another turn in the franchise as well. This movie was great. Really fun watch. I like the concept of it. It needed to be in the series. Boom. All right, number 9. It's going to be... Number 9. Captain America, the First Avenger. We get introduced to Steve Rogers, this small, skinny dude that wants to be in the military. People think he's too small. Then they want to run an experiment on him, and then he becomes this jacked 6'3" beast of a soldier, and they call him Captain America. World War II, around 1945. This is before he gets stuck in the ice for 70 years. He's from Brooklyn, New York, 1945, Brooklyn, New York. And he falls in love with this character, Peggy, I believe. And really emotional movie, not gonna lie. And it's just a really good movie to introduce the First Avenger. I can't spoil this movie. I can if I say it. I'd spoil this movie a lot if I kept talking about it. So we're just going to stop here. But great movie for the First Avenger. Number 8 is going to be Thor, God of Thunder. Now, some people will probably think they'd be surprised with me probably mad at me for how high this movie is. But this movie is funny as heck. This movie is great. I believe this movie was made for... We didn't have to make this movie. But at the same time, you have to make this movie. It's a comedic resolution sort of movie. People need the laugh. We need another movie of Thor, basically. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make another one. And I wouldn't be mad at all. This movie was funny. This movie had a great concept. This timeline, the storyline and timeline of this movie is insane. They have at the beginning they have Guardians of the Galaxy in it. boom, they're gone. Now it's Thor, and then it's just a really surprising concept from Marvel Studios that I can't keep going on and on about it because I don't want to spoil it. But really great movie for the vibe that Marvel Studios was going for this movie. All right, number 7. We're starting to get up there a little bit. Number 7 is going to be Ant-Man. We're going to the Ant-Man area of life. Ant-Man Quantumania. Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you this on my channel here. This is officially out there on the internet. Ant-Man is my favorite Avenger. Ant-Man, the reason he is my favorite Avenger, that is for another video. We might rank the Avengers specifically themselves. But Ant-Man is my favorite Avenger for very specific reasons, and the actions that he does, especially in Endgame, wink wink. But yeah, he's my favorite Avenger. Number 7 is Ant-Man Quantumania. This movie, CGI overload, but really great. Really great movie. I think the storyline was perfectly placed for what they wanted this to be about and what the audience thought this movie would be about. And it's just a great watch. All said in there, plain and simple, amazing watch. Ant-Man Quantumania, number 7. Number 6, we are going into the realm of Thor again. Thor Ragnarok. This film comes after Thor's second movie, Thor: The Dark World. That movie is not in the rankings because I've never actually seen the movie. I need to watch it, obviously. But number 6 is Thor Ragnarok. I had a blast in theaters watching this movie. My family had a blast. Everybody loved it. And just the way this film was brought out into the world, how the movie was specifically drawn to the audience that watched it, it was really cool. And they make Thor be this total dog, probably the most powerful Avenger, if not one of the most, if not the most powerful Avenger, and this movie clearly states that. Really cool, really awesome. I recommend you watching all these movies, but especially that one. Number 5. Number 5 is going to be Spider-Man Homecoming. This might come as another surprise to all y'all, but I love this movie because they show this character again as Peter Parker. Everybody loves Spider-Man. You got the Tobey version, you got the Andrew Garfield version, and then you got this new character, the Tom Holland version. And people have known Tom Holland before this, kinda, but this really breaks out into him making movies like Uncharted, The Odyssey, and other movies that he's starting to make throughout his career as an actor. And I watched this movie last night as well, too. The villain is great. I love the Vulture. I love the concept of the movie. I love just everything that was brought out. Everything that happened was a thrill for us as an audience to watch this. Great movie. Number 5. Number 4, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Another great movie, another great storyline. I'd probably not get tired of watching this movie. That just proves how much this movie is insane. Paul Rudd, and just really brings his character to a whole nother level, especially in this movie. Number 3, the original Ant-Man. Again, the Ant-Man is my favorite Avenger, so there is some bias towards this. But again, this is my opinion. Original Ant-Man, number 3. The third best Avengers movie in the whole shebang, in my opinion. Brings out this new character that is probably completely different from any other character we have been introduced to in this Marvel Studio world. And this is another character that is not at the point of being an Avenger. In fact, he actually fights an Avenger at some point in this movie. He actually literally has a fight with the Falcon in this movie. I'm not even kidding you. And then he goes on to basically save the world as an Avenger. That's another spoiler to a video where I'll probably try to prove that Ant-Man is the best Avenger and how he saved the world at the number 1 standpoint. So there I had number 3, Ant-Man. Number 2, second best Avengers movie in the whole shebang, in my opinion, is going to have to be Spider-Man No Way Home. I can't even begin with this movie. This movie, I have to spoil this a little bit. I'm sure people have already, even if you haven't watched the movie, you've probably seen it on social media, like Instagram or something. This movie has all 3 Spider-Mans in all of the multiverse. You bring Andrew Garfield back, you bring Tobey Maguire back, and you have Tom Holland. And they all fight their own villains from their timeline, time verses, in this one movie. And I nerd out to this kind of stuff. And you got the villains that we've grown up with. You know, you got the lizard thing from the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. You have the Green Goblin from Tobey's. You got Doc Ock from Tobey's. You got the electric dude that's played by Jamie Foxx in The Amazing Spider-Man Part 2. It's just insane. You got Flint Marco. There we go. Flint Marco, the sand dude from the Spider-Man 3 and Tobey's version. Great movie. I can't even put to words how insane this movie was. And the outcome of it was emotional. Nobody knows who he is now, and that sets up the Brand New Day movie that I am really excited for in 5 days. And let's go, man. I'm excited for that movie. Spider-Man No Way Home, second best movie in the whole Avengers. Now, number 1. This is probably not a surprise to any of you. It's got to be Avengers Endgame. This movie, just wow. There was nothing boring in the movie. You just wanted it to keep going. You were actually ticked off that the movie ended, sort of deal. It was that great of a movie. The runtime is about 3 hours long. Doesn't feel like 3 hours long because it's so good. People come back. Half the world is back. Iron Man does his thing, and he gone. That was emotional. And just the scene where half the Avengers come back from being blipped. That's what they call it in the deal, the universe, the cinematic universe. And man, you gotta watch it for yourself. That's how great. I can't put into words how great this movie is. And there you have it. This is kind of this is a very lengthy video for my kind of content. I apologize for that, but I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff. As you can tell, I nerd out. But there you have it. Those are 22 movies that I've ranked in the Avengers Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Studios Cinematic Universe, from 22 to 1. Like I said, I need to watch the other movies that should have been in this list as well. And I will also at some point rank the Avengers themselves. I already put out there that Ant-Man is my favorite Avenger. I will give you the reasoning towards that with another video. Be sure to check out for another movie grading, probably Spider-Man Brand New Day at some point. I'll probably do Minions as well. Minions and Monsters. And the Odyssey as well. I went to the Odyssey yesterday. Amazing. Foreshadowing. Insane movie. And there you have it. Be sure to check out my YouTube shorts for basketball trick shots and my impressions that I've apparently started making. And be sure to check out my podcast on Spotify, the SRV Valley Report. I will probably do another one of those this week. And check out my On This Day in Histories. I'll do another combo package there. And let's get it. Like and subscribe.